Thank you very much.
It's Kaufman is Alive. I look at comic books new and old. Today I'm looking at a new comic book, Absolute Superman, issue number 3. This is part of DC Comics All In, obviously part of the Absolute universe. It's a $4.99 comic book, written by Jason Aaron. Rafa Sandoval is on art. He's also on the cover here and doing all the interiors. Some really great looking artwork in this book. It is a $4.99 cover price, which I'm not a fan of. It seems like Marvel and DC are both gravitating towards that price point a little more often. But if you'll notice, there's no major ads in this book at all. So it's almost kind of like a prestige format in a sense. Really cool looking cover here. Got Lara and Jor-El along with Krypto here. They're on Krypton. Being destroyed. It's Krypton's dying, which is something we've been finding out in the first couple issues of this series. I really love all the rendering on all the rocks on this cover. Looks really cool. I'm kind of a fan of the logo too. I like the Absolute Superman logo. I wish it kind of had like a more 3D effect to it, you know, like the original Superman logo. I think that would look cool, but get into it here. The main difference between this Superman and the one we've come to know and love is this Superman is older here on Krypton. He doesn't get sent to Earth as a baby, so he gets to grow up on Krypton a bit. And they're out of the way runt, so he's kind of one of the smaller kids here on Krypton too. And we learn he's having some trouble in school as well. Much like his father's kind of having some trouble at his job. He's a miner and he's figuring all these things out about the earth and the soil, everything going on underneath the surface of Krypton. So we get this scene here where his parents are talking to him about his grades and how he's causing some trouble at school with some of the things he's been writing, but they tell him to keep it up. So Kal-El's kind of got these like hippie parents here basically. Which is something that I kind of like about this, because they know Krypton is about to be destroyed anyway, so I don't think they really care too much about what Kal-El, what's happening to him in school. They just care more about how he's growing up, where his head's at, that he's doing the right thing, and just trying to help the society as a whole. So Kal-El finds out that Krypton's dying, though, on his own. He starts seeing all the devastation for himself here. One thing that I think is really cool in this issue is all the corner panels here have this like Superman border on it, and it's got the little Superman logo in the corner. If you see that, that's really a real nice touch. So we see more of Kal-El. He's working his way into the Science League, but his parents, they don't trust the Science League anyway. And that's who they're kind of butting heads with. And Jor-El gets taken away, and Kal-El sees it all happen right in front of his eyes. They just kind of push Kal-El away, so he knows what he has to do. He runs and goes, gets his mother there. Then we see Kal-El introduced to this AI suit that his parents have created, which we've already seen in the first couple issues. And the stuff I liked in the first 2 issues was everything happening on Krypton. That's the stuff I like the most. So the fact, you know, we're getting this whole issue of everything going on Krypton, kind of the origin of Kal-El here. So I really enjoyed this issue. It cuts a really great pace too. When it was over, I honestly did not want this comic book to end. So we got Lara here. She's got the AI suit fully enacted. She's got her big cable gun there. Krypto even gets in on the action, wearing the this AI suit. It can like go from person to person, and it's got all these crazy superpowers, which is kind of where Superman is getting his superpowers. Although we've already learned that he does have powers separate from the suit. in the previous issue when we saw Lois Lane, who's a special agent. She was doing some investigation on this new being that's come to Earth, and she figured out that he does have this AI suit that he talks to, but he's also got some of his own powers. So eventually they all break out. They're able to rescue Jor-El. They explain that they've been keeping a secret from Kal-El, and he says he knows Krypton is dying. And there's this really funny meta moment here where he says, "And you want me to shoot into space to save me? Me, all alone, wearing Mom's spacesuit from when she was a kid." And he says, "But I'm not going without you." And they're like, "You're mostly right, kid. We're all going together." And then we see that they've built this giant ship to escape on. But we've learned that the Science League and a lot of like the elitists who live here, the rich who live here on Krypton, they've also already built their own escape pods to leave the planet. So they obviously knew what was going on, and even though Jor-El was trying to tell them, they weren't listening for their own selfish purposes. So we see that they're all just going to escape together here off of Krypton, which is kind of an interesting wrinkle that I really didn't expect. You know, I would expect them to die on Krypton, which I suppose they haven't left yet, so maybe in the next issue they do, but maybe they have maybe they get into outer space and they actually have like some space adventures, and then Kal-El's the only one who survives. I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see where it's going to go. We've also get this interesting epilogue here. We're at the Smallville Senior Living Center, and we see Ma Kent here in bed asking for her angel. And we see a picture here on the table next to her with Pa Kent and what we can only presume to be Clark Kent as well. So there's something to this story. I'm intrigued to see where that goes. Perhaps Clark grew up here in Kansas at some point and then went out on his own. So I really like this issue. It's got a Aquaman preview too, from the new Aquaman #1, written by Jeremy Adams. John Timms is on the artwork. Just a quick little 4-page backup story. We see that Aquaman now has Mera's hydromancy powers, so he's able to control water for the first time, which is a really cool fit for his character, I feel like. And he says it just feels right. So like I said, enjoyed this issue. I recommend it. If you haven't been reading Absolute Superman, I'd go check that out. And thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. I post daily comic book reviews. I'll see you guys on the next one.